Spoiler warnings for the Arrow show, Flashpoint comic and movie, and the Flash show.
That's it.
What else do you want me to fucking say?
You want to do anything like special?
Fucking, you should have already known all this shit before you started watching this goddamn video.
I guess that works. Drawing things for complete strangers, but my parents will probably watch this, so I guess they're not our strangers completely. Bad art. Yellow. My name is Chewels Frambois. For years, I have been wasting my talents and doing meaningless doodles, but I've recently started putting my doodles on the internet. And now, months later, it has become something else. So now I must do something else. And that something else is a special guest. His name is Steve. You know Steve. Or you may know him as Superior Silence. Welcome to the show.
Hi. Thanks for that grand introduction.
Yes. So we treat our people right around here.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, today, we're going to be talking about a little show that you and me watch, that you and me usually enjoy.
Usually.
Yeah. It's called Arrow. And they just had their season finale.
Yes.
What are your thoughts on it?
It's funny, I was talking to my boss the other day about, because he watches The Flash, he doesn't watch Arrow, and I mainly watch Arrow. I started watching The Flash again a little bit more. And, like, right now, as far as ratings go, I think The Flash is the more higher-rated show, I think. I don't remember. I read something where somebody was saying that.
It's definitely been getting up there.
Yeah. And I was just telling him, I was like, you know what? Like, Arrow really... After Season 2, it's like they just tried to, like... I don't know. It was almost like they're trying to be too grandiose.
Yeah.
They're trying to do too much extravagant stuff in terms of like plot lines and stuff. I liked it where it was just simpler, like the first two seasons.
We're focused on Ollie.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, dude, you look at how many characters they fucking introduced in season 3, and like, you had like, they focused on Laurel, and they focused on Ray, and they focused on fucking Roy, and then they focused on Thea, and Merlin, and it was just like, can we just get back to, like, the main story, please? It's cool to develop characters and stuff, but it's just, and then my age-old thing is, that show's just about people lying to each other now. That's all it is.
You know what? Like, there was that one time when you actually told me that, where you were like, I'm so getting over Arrow right now. It's just a whole bunch of everybody lying to each other and getting mad about it. And you were like, you lied to me. I lied to you. You lied to me. I'm going to kill you because you lied to me. I need to go and kill this person because they lied to me. I'm no longer talking to this person because they lied.
That's all it fucking is now. It really is. I'm sorry. Am I allowed to cuss?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah. Yeah, that's literally all it is. It's you kept this from me, and I don't know if we're, like, everybody, like, you got Mr. Chief Lance or Detective Lance. He's pissed off at his dad. You didn't tell me Sarah was dead.
Yeah.
I hate you. And I hate Oliver because he's the Arrow. And it's like, why? There's no reason. Like, just get over it. And then it's like, Felicity fucking, you didn't tell me that you were going to go do this thing with Ra's al Ghul, and I don't know if I can trust you. And then the other thing was Diggle, like, Diggle's like, I don't know if we could be cool again, man. You kidnapped my wife. And it's like,
well, those are legit reasons for being mad at people, though. Like, your daughter dies, and your other daughter doesn't tell you about it. Ollie doesn't tell you about it. There's grounds for them being mad. It's just a little bit too much of everyone.
Well, I mean, what would have happened if he would have told him that his daughter was dead? He would have gotten really depressed.
Yeah.
And so he found out, and now he's really depressed and angry.
Yeah, but they were, like, keeping it from him for so long.
But what was their reason for keeping it from him?
Because he had the heart condition. Remember, he's recovering still.
You didn't want him to fucking have a heart attack?
Yeah. That was why Laura was afraid to tell him, because she was like, oh, he's been doing a lot better with his heart and stuff and not drinking, so I don't want to put this on him. It would be too much stress on him. Yeah. Even though he's like the chief of police now. Ain't he?
Yeah, he's stressed out anyways. So, motherfucker's got like he's probably got hemorrhoids and everything else that you can get from stress. But I don't know, like, you know, the one thing I did think was cool was the whole, like, we have to keep the circle as small as possible. So, like, having Merlin involved, and it basically being like an Ollie Merlin thing.
Yeah.
That was cool, because...
I did like how he set that straight, Merlin, where he was like, look, you guys aren't really the best actors, so we had to kind of keep you in the dark.
Yeah, Merlin was on point for most of that season.
Yeah.
I actually was pretty happy with what he was about.
He's always on point.
But, you know, what'd you think of them getting rid of your boy Roy?
I was really pissed.
Why?
I don't know, like, the first half of the season...
I was actually okay with him for most of the season because I was so pissed off at, like, fucking Laurel and other idiots like that.
Well, no, because, like, the first half of the season, it's like, anytime he was on a mission, they barely showed him, and when they did, he was getting knocked out or beat up. Or he's getting kidnapped and held hostage.
In the beginning.
Yeah. And then I figured, well, that makes sense because Roy's still in training. So, like, Ollie kind of wants to keep him, like, in the background a little bit. Maybe get his feet wet just a little bit going on patrol, but not deal with anyone as major as Ra's al Ghul, you know? But then, like, in the second season, they started, like, doing a little better with him while Ollie was gone. But they still, like, it was maybe, like, an episode or two where he actually did something.
I thought he held it down okay. Because that was my thing. As I was like, you know, I was like, because that was my thing. You know, I'd be watching with my girlfriend. She knows I didn't like Roy. But then they had you introduce Laurel, who's just a fucking hot mess.
not in this season.
Well, in the last season that she was.
Yeah.
And I'm like, fucking Jesus Christ, Laurel! Like, you're such a fucking train wreck. I was like, good. Now we got Roy here. Now we actually got somebody who knows what they're fucking doing. Like, it was sad where I had to like do that, you know.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Season 3, I think, was probably the least best one.
Well, hold on. Like, going back to Roy, I didn't like his departure because he left because he was guilty over the cop.
Right.
About killing the cop accidentally.
Yeah.
But at that time, when he decided to leave, it already came out that Thea was the one who killed Sarah. So, if Thea's still in town and coping with killing somebody without her knowledge of it.
Yeah, and that was a lot more. That was a lot more personal because that was somebody she was actually friends with.
Yeah, and she's like still cool with Laurel and everything, and still communicating with her. Whereas Roy's just like stalking the family, making sure they're doing okay.
Yeah,
it's like I don't think you need to leave, Roy. Like you and Thea are kind of in the same boat, and she seems to be doing a little bit fine.
Yeah.
So there's no need to leave. So I was really unhappy with that.
Yeah, it was. I was surprised about it, but I mean they really needed to make room for more of these other characters. I mean, they weren't using them anyways. They
weren't.
It was the fucking Roy and Felicity show for a while there. A couple of those episodes were just fucking Roy and Felicity bullshit.
Laurel actually was like carried along better than Roy was because she was taking on League of Assassins people, and they're supposed to be like the cream of the crop. You know, they're like a little above Ollie.
But no, Laurel got her shit pushed in all the time. Laurel was free, dude.
Dude, she was holding her own with League of Assassin guys, and she got training from Wildcat in the first half, and
towards the end of the season, she was kind of comparable. But I mean, there was a whole like season, and was it the end of season 2 or the beginning of the season? She was just getting her. Cause see,
that was the first half.
That's the other. Yeah, see, that's the other thing is I get so confused as to where the seasons end and where the fucking breaks are. Like, it's just, oh my God. Just,
yeah.
Like, that was the thing that I was listening to a podcast. They were talking about how they were debating on whether or not it was better because they were comparing it to, like, Daredevil. And they're like, it's almost better if you can just marathon it because it keeps you more involved in the story as to where if you have to wait and then they go on these breaks, and then they do all this stuff. Like, and it's true, because I kind of lost, like, the motivation to watch that show.
Well, Daredevil works because they're like FX and HBO, whereas they stick around 10 to 13 seasons. Whereas Arrow and Flash, like CW shows, they're like around 26, and that's a lot.
Well, I'm just talking about, like, in terms of watching it.
Yeah.
Like...
Well, it doesn't help either that they do the breaks.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it was annoying. Like, I just can't, you know, because then you have to think of, okay, and if, God forbid, you miss an episode, because then you're like, oh, which one did I watch? Did I watch last week's? Or no, okay, I don't remember. And then it's like, what was going on when I, you know, especially when they go on the breaks, it's like, I'm like, where were they? Where were we in the story? What was the last thing that happened? Like, actually, you know, I'm getting fucking old, dude. I don't remember all this shit. So that was annoying. I'm sick of the breaks. The breaks just need to stop. But it's their way of.
Sadly, that will not stop.
No.
But yes, I would like the breaks to stop as well. I mean, if you're gonna do the whole let's split this season in 2 halves, at least just stick with that and not be like, okay, here's 13 episodes. We're going to take about 2 or 3 month break. Then we're going to come back, show you 3 more episodes. Then we're going to take another 2-week break. And then we're going to come back and show a couple more. Take another. It's like, oh.
Yeah, I mean, it's brutal. But, I don't know. It was okay. The ending was kind of... I didn't really think it was going to end that way.
I called it. Some of it.
What'd you say?
I said, remember at the end of the first season, or first half, I said, there's got to be some plan where... Malcolm wanted Ollie to fight Roz to take over and then give it over to Malcolm to lead the league, because we all know Ollie's not gonna.
No, he's not gonna do that.
He's not gonna take that job.
No.
And I figured it was some kind of elaborate plan from Malcolm to take power with the League of Assassins.
The only other thing that I kind of thought that they haven't done yet that they might do is. I think it's a way for him to become the Green Arrow instead of just being Arrow or the Vigilante.
Yeah.
I think it's a way for them next season. Somehow they'll probably do something to where his identity is public. Everybody knows, because in the comics everybody knows he's Green Arrow, right?
I don't know.
I think that's what it is. Because from what I gathered, he's kind of like the Tony Stark of the DC universe. Everybody knows he's Green Arrow. Everybody knows it's Oliver Queen. They're the same person. And he's just... That's it. He's just the Green Arrow. So I think that's their way of doing it, because he's already talked about it. They've done a little foreshadowing where they talk about how, I had to become the Arrow, and then I had to become Oliver Queen again, and now I can't be either one of those things, so I got to be something else. So I'm thinking that's probably going to be the Green Arrow. If I could be completely off, but that's what I think they're going to do with that.
Good assumption.
Yeah,
I mean, it did kind of feel like they were going to stop doing Arrow altogether, just with him driving off in the sunset with Felicity and having all these other spin-off shows. No, at the end of the season, the creator or whoever said that they're working hard on season 4 now to get ready to continue that story.
Okay.
And they kind of spoiled it with, I don't know if you saw the trailer for that Legend of...
No, I didn't watch it.
Oh, well, it's really big spoilers.
Why? For the other shows? Because they're tying it into everything else?
Yeah. And it's pretty much... Well, you want me to tell you?
Yeah, you tell me.
It's pretty much just Ollie in there, fully garbed as the Arrow. Him and Flash. And they're talking to the Legend people.
Oh, really?
Sarah's back.
Yeah, and I didn't like that, because that's a ripoff.
Yeah?
Yeah, they ripped off Elektra, because they did that with Marvel, where they killed Elektra, and she came back as White Elektra.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. But whatever.
And I mean, they're doing the comic book thing now where death doesn't really matter.
Dude, what is the deal with the fucking the Prison Break guys?
Dude, don't hate. Wentworth Miller, I'm so happy for him.
I was like, what the fuck? What? I was like, fucking Prison Break guys? Both of them?
And Spartacus. Captain Boomerang and Nessa, Roz's daughter.
Yeah.
And the weather guy.
Yeah,
Liam McIntyre. Yeah. They're all from Spartacus.
Oh, by the way, not to kind of change the subject completely. I mean, it's still kind of related, but I watched the last episode of Arrow, or not Arrow. I'm sorry, Flash. And that was the best episode of Flash ever, because I was watching it.
Really?
Yeah, I was watching it, and I was like, they were talking about how we gotta move these metahumans. Well, where are we gonna move them to? And he's like, we can move them to Leon Yu. I was like, yes, put them there. I was like, I know who's on that fucking island. I know that he gets out and he kills all you fucking metahuman bastards. And then I was like, well, so that was my thing. So I was watching the whole episode, and I was like, yes, go Leon, go. And so then they didn't go, and then stupid Reverse Flash showed up, and then fucking Ollie showed up. I was like, there he is. And then he fucking shot him in the ass with the arrow, and was like, nanites faggot, fucking courtesy of fucking Ray Palmer Stark. And then he proceeded to beat his ass. And I was like, yes, fuck the Reverse Flash up.
Let's go off of that too. That was a really janky crossover. Where did he get the time to come and help Barry?
That's what I said to my boss, because my boss and I will talk about it, because like I said, he watches Flash, and I was like, dude, I don't know if you've been watching Arrow, but I'm like, what the fuck? Why would you drop all the shit that you're doing? Because I told him, I was like, he was doing some serious shit.
Yeah.
I was like, but you're like, oh, let me go help Barry out real quick. I'm like, seriously?
Here's my theory on how that happened. Remember when, right before Roz told him that he had to marry his daughter, and Ollie was like, I need to go for a walk? And then it cuts to him sitting by the fire, and then Maceo comes up and starts talking to him. Remember that part?
Yeah. You think he had him a cell phone or something?
I think that's when he went for a really big walk where he went to Central City and helped Barry out real quick. It's like, hey, you're welcome, but I'm gonna need a favor from you. I gotta go. And he just goes back to the little fire. I think that's the only way he could have had time to leave.
I mean, I guess.
But it was really janky.
It was weird. I mean, but that's the thing. And then we were talking about if they do, because they're kind of teasing on Flashpoint a little bit.
Yeah.
And we were talking about that, like, well, if they're in the same universe, then if he does the Flashpoint thing, like, what are they gonna do? Change Arrow, like, completely?
I guess.
But I was like, it'd be cool. I was like, you could do it for like 2 episodes or 3 episodes max, I think. Because the Arrow people aren't gonna, if they don't watch Flash, they're not gonna know what the fuck's going on.
Well, what happens in Flashpoint?
Flashpoint has basically the Flash in the comic books. He starts running the opposite direction of the way the world spins in order to make time go backwards.
Yeah.
And he does that so he can save... I think in the comics he does it so he can save his girlfriend, not his mom. But they're going to probably change it in the show so where he can save his mom.
Yeah.
But that's pretty much the basis for it. And it's kind of one of those things where it'd be cool to see in the show, but if it's connected, you know, like I said, they'd have to be really careful with it.
It's time travel.
It's time travel, yeah.
It's where I start to lose interest.
See, it's funny because my boss loves time travel. Like, Back to the Future is his favorite movie. And he likes anything like that, like, is his thing. So he's all for it, but he just doesn't think they can do it.
It depends what they're doing, because Back to the Future is one timeline where you're jumping to the past and the future, whereas I think in the Flash and DC universe and just in comics in general, they do the string theory, where there's, like, different time strings that you can jump to.
Yeah.
There's not like there's like a main line, but there's also alternate strings.
Well, did you ever watch the Flashpoint animated show?
No, but I do want to see it.
Okay. I mean, it's really dark. It's kind of it's like Back to the Future, you know, when he goes back to his time and everything's changed because Biff had the almanac and shit.
Yeah.
And now everything's bad. It's like that. It's like everything just went bad. So, like, basically, the way that the Batman storyline, like, Batman's different. It's his dad. It's not Batman because Bruce Wayne was the one that got killed instead of his dad. So his dad's Batman. His mom's the Joker for some weird reason. It's
I definitely want to see that now.
It's really it's the way that they did it was kind of stupid. At least in the show, because, like, she's basically just sitting there in the alley, and, like, she's holding Bruce. And, like, she, like, raises her hand up to, like, touch her face, and there's blood, and it makes, like, the grin. And then she just starts laughing for no reason. And it's like, why? Why is that funny to you? Your son just got murdered in front of you?
Hey, man, she's having a psychotic breakdown. Give her a break.
I guess. And you know, so there's other differences, like, Superman ended up getting captured because when his thing hit the planet, like, the government found him, and he's just been in, like, Area 52, and so he's all frail and skinny, and they've been keeping him in a bunker, and then, like, Cyborg works for the government.
Hacker.
I don't really even know what he did, but, you know, I don't know. It was just really dark, and I think if they did something like that in the show, you'd have to do it for... Like, it would have to be, like, the whole season.
Yeah.
They'd have to just get on board with Arrow and be like, all right, we're doing the Flashpoint thing. And then work it to where it's just one big story, but it happens to encompass 2 shows. I think that's the only way you would be able to do it correctly. So, like, you need to film it kind of, it's like a movie. Mm-hmm. Have Barry in the Arrow episodes and have Ollie in the Flash episodes. And maybe deviate a little bit. I mean, it would be a really big challenge.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see, because right now they have, like, so many different shows. They're, like, You got Arrow, you got Flash, you have the Legends of...
When's that even supposed to come out?
I'm pretty sure it's next year. But they're supposed to do that. I don't know if they're going to tie in Supergirl yet.
No, they said they were.
And then they teased Green Lantern and Flash.
Yeah.
So
they said they're gonna tie in Supergirl, which I'm like, really? That's gonna be really weird.
So do you think they're gonna introduce Batman now, or try and tie him in finally, since they have League of Assassins in there? Because the past 3 seasons, they've really been having Ollie walk this line between Bruce Wayne or Batman and Green Arrow. Where it's like he's Green Arrow, but he has a lot of qualities of Batman, right down to Roz wanting him to take his spot.
Well, that was a Batman storyline originally.
Yeah, and that's the only way I think that they could get Roz off of Ollie is to introduce Batman to where it's like, if he runs into Roz again, Roz can just be like, oh, I found somebody else who can fill your spot, so you're off the hook now. Because Roz ain't dead.
Well, it depends. I mean, yeah. He's never. That's his thing.
Somebody's gonna carry him off and put him in another Lazarus pit somewhere else and be like, "Oh, I'm back."
That's his thing. He always comes back.
Yeah,
but I don't know. I thought that the way that they're doing it. See, and this is the problem when you have a TV show that's tied into the cinematic universe. Is Ben Affleck is never going to be on those TV shows.
That's fine.
So I know it's fine, but I'm just saying. So you're basically saying that. Like they're there, but they're not there. Mm. Like the Supergirl thing, where he's like, "Oh, your cousin told me to give you this." Like, fuck you. Like, dude could have flew over here in 3 seconds and given it to her. Like, fuck off. It's just cheap. It's just a cheap. Like that's the most you're ever gonna get from TV. Like, you're not gonna get. You know what I mean? Like, you're not ever gonna get a cool cameo from like fucking Superman in the Supergirl show.
Well, they show like a shadow of him holding his hand out.
Unless they change the actor. And are you cool with that? So let's say they recast Superman for the for the Supergirl show. Like, would you be okay with something like that?
Yeah, they're not crossing the shows over with the movies. They already explained that. There's 2 different actors who play the Flash. There's the Grant Gustin guy in the show, and there's a different guy in the movies.
So...
And then, if they wanted to cross it over with the movies, they still could, because they could do the time stream thing, where it's like, in an alternate dimension, Batman is Ben Affleck, or Batman is old and decrepit and grumpy, and Superman's, like, yoke as fuck.
Nah, I don't know, it's weird.
So if they wanted to, they could cross it over with the movies, but for right now, they're keeping them separate,
because, I mean,
think is a good idea.
The Ra's al Ghul guy was cool.
Yeah.
I didn't mind him, and it didn't hurt my feelings that it wasn't Liam Neeson, even though there was all that... Liam Neeson was like, "Oh, I'd do it" thing.
They can't afford Liam Neeson, man. They need that budget for Roy Palmer to fly around like Iron Man.
I'm pretty sure he would have done it just to do it. He didn't need the money at this point. Like, what the fuck else is he doing?
Yeah, but he's got an agent to answer to, so his agent's gonna be like, "What the hell are you doing?" We gotta do Taken 4.
You gotta because that's. But I don't know. It's whatever. I'm not terribly interested in the Legends thing. I probably won't watch the Supergirl show either. Arrow's kind of losing me. Like I said, it's just it's getting really monotonous, and it's getting to the point where I know what they're gonna do, and it just bothers me. It's like, okay, oh great, okay, so now you're pissed off at him for that now. All right, so now you're gonna spend like 2 episodes trying to get over that, and nothing is really gonna happen. It's like, just fucking move forward, people. Just move forward.
Yeah.
You're worried about all this shit. Why don't you worry about Ra's al Ghul?
Yeah.
Because he's there. And he's the more important thing, But it's like, oh, we gotta work together now. And Diggle's like, oh, you kidnapped my wife, man. Should have done that.
We're not cool.
Yeah. And it's like, it's just been done to death. Like, I don't know.
Well, I'm still interested in Arrow. I just want them to ring it back in and focus on him more. I think it mainly had to do something with the Ninja Turtles movie, because are they filming that right now? Because they had the picture of him as Casey Jones, right? I don't know. I think he was probably juggling those 2 things, where they were probably just like, we're gonna spend this season introducing some characters. So
that movie doesn't exist in my world.
On the side, go ahead.
Yeah,
but well, I like Stephen Amell. I want to see it for him.
I like him too, but I'm not gonna see that movie.
I'm gonna go see it.
I know you will. You went and saw the other one.
I did, twice.
20% Rotten Tomatoes.
And I did not see it twice because I liked it. I saw it twice because I lied to my girlfriend.
Again?
Yeah. And I had to stay committed to the lie and go see the movie.
Do your viewers know about this this thing that you do?
They don't, not unless they cross over to the Bad Podcast and see all those shenanigans.
Reference episode 23 of the Bad Podcast, or whatever it is, where Charles talks about how he fucking cheats on his girlfriend by watching fucking stuff.
All right, well, is there anything else you need to say about Arrow?
No, I mean, I love the shit out of it, but just God, get back to the main plot line. Stop with all these subplots. I mean, I know you got to develop the characters, but Jesus, man, how many people did you guys cram into the last season? Like, just far too many. So, that's really all I want to see. I just want to see it dumbed down a little bit. Arrow's a show that takes itself very seriously, and it's hard to take the show seriously when there's so much absurdity going on as far as the story goes.
Like The Flash.
The Flash does not take itself seriously at all.
I still can't get used to that. How he freaks out whenever Barry speeds off.
Oh yeah, Diggle said it, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I thought it was great when he showed up. I was like, hey, cool, look, Barry. And then he's like, yeah, fuck you guys, I ain't helping you anymore. I was like, all right, cool, whatever. But no, it's entertaining. I think that the way they do the crossovers, it works for them.
Yeah.
I will say this: DC is definitely on point more than Marvel as far as TV shows, other than Daredevil.
Yeah.
But we'll see. Hopefully, they get back on track and stop putting in all this fucking filler and weird shit that they do. Stop taking so many goddamn breaks.
Yeah. Still don't know why they do that, but I will look into it.
Well, it'll be interesting to see if Supergirl does the same thing, because then it's the network and not the actual people.
Yeah. Well, that was the first part of Bad Art. Tune in next week for the second part. Where are you talking about The Flash with me, or are you letting me do that solo?
Well, I can talk to you about it, yeah.
All right. Well, tune in next week where we'll talk about The Flash, because that season finale is getting ready to go, or getting ready to start this week. So
yeah, this week.
So we'll talk about the art and that too. Until then, see you next time. To be continued. That was bad, but it could have been worse. And I'm out. But I'll be back.